Maxwell's Review presents 1 and 2 step equations with yours truly, Ryan Foster. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick two 1-step equations, bloom, blam. I'm going to pick two 2-step equations, get some right there. And I'm going to go through these problems doing the same exact routine. I think that, and Danny can testify to this, if you don't understand 1 and 2-step equations, your life is going to be difficult for a couple of years. So let's start with number 1. On that note, x plus 7. And it's always best that whenever you see an equation, and the reason it's an equation is because there's an equal sign, that you recognize what you have. I can see a letter in there. Okay? I noticed that you like to put this line, and I think that's a great idea. Make sure that your equal sign is the thing that's keeping it balanced. What it's saying is this side is equal to this side. That's why it's the tipping point. Whenever we have a letter or a variable in an equation, we have to do PEMDAS in reverse. Because if we had that x, we'd be able to verify if it's equal to 4, but we don't yet. So that means that a problem was solved and we got all the way to here to find out what it was equal to. Now let's undo everything that was done by starting with addition and subtraction and doing it in reverse. This is where you start on the left side or the side that you see the variable. This variable could be over here, and that means you start on that side. The opposite of plus 7 is minus 7. We're going to do that to both sides. Why? Because we're keeping an equation balanced. I mark it out so there's nothing left there to look at. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. This is where you check your answer. So we're saying that x plus 7, something plus 7, is equal to 4. We solved it, and we go, well, it must be negative 3. X is equal to negative 3. So let's go ahead and put that in the problem and find out. Let's see if negative 3 plus 7 equals 4. Negative 3 plus 7, okay, so that's adding opposites, so that means they're going to go to war. That means 7's, the positives are going to win. They're going to lose 3 guys, so that's going to end up being a positive 4 equals positive 4. Heck yeah, we're right. So that's how you check your answer. Always starting with the original problem and then subbing your x in. Okay, so let me erase that real quick. You've got to learn 1 and 2-step equations, man. Like, seriously, whatever you're doing right now, stop doing it. Wait, unless you're watching this video, then don't stop doing that. But I'm saying, like, if you're like playing Fortnite or something, like, you totally should stop. Wait, hold on. If you're playing Fortnite, you're not listening to this. If you're playing Fortnite and you're listening to this, you're doing this all wrong, dude. All right. You can see I did the same exact thing as I did in the previous problem. I see that I have a letter, x. I can see that that's on the left side. I can see that I balanced by putting a line through my equal sign. Whatever happens on this side, it's got to happen on this side. We know that we have an answer, 7, but we don't know how we got there. It means we're going to work backwards, like math detectives. So what we're going to do is go through PEMDAS in reverse. So not only are we looking for addition and subtraction, we're looking to undo everything that's being done. So we're going to add 5 because I see subtract 5. X equals 12. So what we're saying is 12 minus 5 equals 7? I don't know. I don't think so. I doubt it. I really do. I doubt it. So I'm going to take this x right here, and I'm going to put this number in for it into the original problem. 12 minus 5 equals 7. All right, 12 minus 5. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Dang, it does. How about that? I can't believe it. This is the same process over and over, as you can pick up from my sarcasm. I don't know if you're picking up on my sarcasm, but it's there. I promise. Like, I'm telling you about it, so you know it's there. All right. 2-step equation. Let's do number 6. Negative 7x plus 8 equals negative 62. I remember asking you probably 30 times, what does it mean to have a number next to a letter? What does that mean? Negative 7x does not mean negative 7 times plus 8. That doesn't even make sense. You can't have two operations next to each other. X is the thing that you're looking for. X is what you don't know. X is no longer a multiply symbol. X is a letter. X is every number imaginable that can fit in there. But there's only one that's going to fit in there that's going to make this true. So anytime you see a number next to a letter, it means multiply. Anytime you see a number next to a letter, it means multiply. Anytime you see a number next to a letter, it means multiply. Anytime you see a number next to a letter, it means multiply. Anytime you see a number next to a letter, it means multiply. I could keep doing it, but I feel like it would be too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do our balancing act right there. So that's saying that that left side is equal to what's on the right side. I know that I'm still doing PEMDAS in reverse. That's why I'm starting with addition, subtraction, and doing its opposite. I can see a negative there, but that's not subtracting because there's nothing in front of it. I can see a plus 8. I'm going to do its opposite. Minus 8. I'm going to mark it out because anytime I add opposites, I always get 0. Negative 62 plus negative 8. Oh my gosh, negative 70. Whew, mental math. Anytime I see a number next to a letter, it means multiply. Anytime I see a number next to a letter, it means multiply. So I know that I'm doing opposite. I see multiply. That means I'm doing its opposite, which is divide by negative 7. Divide by negative 7. I'm only doing the opposite operation, not the opposite of the number. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is 1. I just wrote down 1x right there. Like if I wrote down 2 x's, it would look like this. But I didn't, because I wrote down 1. You could also write 1x, and then do equals, negative divided by negative, so same sign positive, that's going to be 10. Okay, so 1x is equal to 10, or x is equal to 10. Now I know that I have to put that in for that number. Anytime I see a number next to a letter, it means multiply. Anytime I see a number next to parentheses, it means multiply. Anytime I see a number next to a letter, it means multiply. Anytime I see a number next to parentheses, it means multiply. Now that we don't have any letters, we're just going to straight up do PEMDAS. So that means parentheses. Do you see any? Yes. Can you do anything inside of it? No. Well then, next. Do you see exponents? I don't see any of those baby floaty numbers. No. You see any multiplication or division? Matter of fact, Mr. Foster, I do. Because you know what? You've been droning on and on about a number next to parentheses or a number next to a letter, meaning multiply. I think that that's what this is. And you'd be correct. Negative 70 plus 8 equals negative 62. I got a feeling. Adding opposites means I'm basically subtracting. There's way more negatives, so if they went to battle, negatives would win, and we'd lose 8 positives and 8 negatives, which means that we'd be down to negative 62 is equal to negative 62. Skiggity score. And that's you checking your answer every time, not sometimes. So you can get it right every time, not sometimes. Because it's algebra. And that's what's cool about it, is you can always know that you're right. All right. 1 plus 3x equals negative 23. I wonder if you had a girlfriend and her name was Algebra, if she would be right all the time. Like if you did fact checks on her, would she always be right? Yeah? Anyway. Doing our balancing act. This one looks different. There's a reason why it looks different. So you can see that a number next to a letter means multiply. 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 That means multiply, all right? So that's not what we're doing first. How do you get rid of a plus 1? How do you get rid of a plus 1? How do you get rid of a plus 1? You minus 1. Because it says plus 1. Just because it says it in a different direction doesn't mean anything. So to get rid of a positive 1, we put a negative 1. Negative 23 plus negative 1 is going to be a negative 24. A number next to a letter means multiply. A number next to a letter means multiply. So I'm going to do its opposite. I'm going to divide. I divide by that number that's next to the letter that meant multiply. Because that's what I do. Because, you know, that's what if a friend asks for help, you help them. Negative 24 divided by 3, different sign, negative answer. 24 divided by 3, 8. So now all we got to do is use the original problem and put 8 in for x because we know a number next to a letter means multiply. I'm going to use pink. All right? 1 plus 3 times, well, because we know a number next to a letter means multiply. We know a number next to parentheses means multiply. It definitely doesn't mean add, subtract, or divide because I don't see anything that looks like that. We said x is negative 8 equals negative 23. And he squares up for the putt. And PEMDAS. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24 plus 1 equals negative 23. Then we do this, different signs, so that means that they're going to fight. That means they're going to lose a negative. Oh no, negative 23 equals negative 23. Skibbity wiggity score. So make sure you're practicing this. Do like 2 problems a day. Do 3 problems a day. Doesn't matter. At least do some a day and practice and practice and practice.